Christmasitis Definition. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I'm a business investor and I deal with all the same things that everyone else deals with throughout life. Only when you're in business for yourself, it tends to expand. It tends to be louder and bigger than just the average person around you. And I'll give you a great example is Christmasitis. What is Christmasitis? And the reason why I wanted to call this Christmasitis definition is because I know a lot of people are looking this up, and it's one of these terms that I think is on the upswing. Because when I was growing up, going to high school, as you got closer and closer to your senior year, as soon as you're a senior, everyone asks if you have senioritis. And senioritis was when you couldn't get any work done because your mind was set on the freedom that comes with being a senior and dusting off your sandals from high school forever and moving on with your life into adulthood. And Christmasitis is very similar. It's as if it's a disease. In fact, I feel like I'm in the early stages of possibly coming down with the symptoms of Christmasitis, even though we talked about it on here earlier about how to power through this season and do everything you can to get things moving. And sometimes that's easier said than done. The music starts playing in the background and all the events start taking place, and so you get all these things kind of pulling you this way or that way. We've got Christmas lights everywhere in our town this year, whereas in the previous years, due to COVID and everything else, it had diminished to a certain extent. And I mean, this year it's just back in full force. I can't believe all the events and everything else going on, and it pulls me away from work. And it's not just pulling me away from the work itself, because I'm sitting there, I'm doing the work, I'm making the phone calls and doing everything that's necessary, but my mind and heart isn't in it as good as it should be to really create the best product possible. And it's just part of the season. And I whether you celebrate Christmas or not, whether you celebrate Hanukkah or any of the other million holidays that happen this time of year, New Year's and so forth, I can't imagine it matters much unless you've been able to build a life where you can isolate yourself from a lot of this and be able to continue on with your habits. With me having 3 children and a wife, and all the Christmas shopping and all the other stuff that has to happen one way or the other, you get sucked into it. And it's no excuses, but at the same time, it is one of those things you got to keep your eye on one way or the other to not fully be engrossed in every single thing. But at the same time, when you have time, you take a breath. You take a breath in life, and you be thankful for what you've gone through this past year, and move forward and take advantage of everything that's happening that's very special during this time of year, because there are a lot of advantages depending on what type of business you're in. That's all I got for tonight. Just a simple thought. I'm wearing my dirty shirt. You might see it. I've got paint on it and everything because I was out working in the yard for a good part of the day, and I've still got a little bit of work to do inside, business work to do before the end of the night. So you have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Go check out my training all on content marketing and answer that question finally of whether content marketing is right for you or not. ContentMarketingQuestion.com. Go check it out. ContentMarketingQuestion.com. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and all the rest. And we'll see you next time. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.